Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today we are going to, inshallah, continue with our previous class that we have taken last week about the data manipulation language, SQL data manipulation language. So if you remember, we have taken, now we are in, we stopped in slide 46. Let us go quickly and do a quick recap. So here we have learned something about the DML, which includes 4 commands: insert, select, update, and delete. Then after that, we took some examples about them. Okay. Then here we came to the selection of data. So data selection has many types. The first type is the projection, and the second is the selection. Then we have the join way to retrieve data from multiple tables at the same time. And also we can do projection, selection together, and also we can do projection, selection, and join all together. So we could have multiple types of data selection. So we can, this one type, 2 type, 3 types. Then we have projection and selection. This is number 4. Projection and join. 5. Selection and join. 6. Projection and selection and join. So 7 types, almost 7 types. Okay. Here about the projection is to select the columns. Selection is to select the rows. So selecting the columns is in the select clause. So in the select we can select or mention what type of columns we want to retrieve. What's the columns that we want to retrieve, or either to show them all using the star, or maybe to list them all. Then the selection is to use the where clause to have a condition to filter the data. For the join, we didn't take it yet. I expect maybe maybe by the end of today or maybe tomorrow. Okay, here we have the basic selection statement. We have taken the options like distinct to retrieve unique information. And also here we learn how to make expressions using the addition, substitution, multiplication or division or whatever. So here we can apply any condition in the select clause. We have taken the example of the salary multiplied by 12 to show the annual salary. Here we learned also how to deal with the null value also, and we learned about the heading defaults, how to use the as keyword to rename your columns, and when we need to use single quotation or we don't need it. Also, I give you many examples with the as and without the as, because as can be omitted also. And here we have taken the operators. This operator, actually the double column is to concatenate text. So to join 2 texts together as one text, we can use this operator. Okay. Then we learned about the literal character, which is to provide something that's not a data, not a column, and only a text that's provided by it. So here we have in the select, we have this is a column, and we can concatenate it with other text like this, which is not saved into the database, or not also a table name or column name or whatever. It's a text from outside the database. Okay, so here also we learned how to concatenate the literal character using the double column. And also we see the duplicate here, duplicate rows when we select like the employee department ID. So we see department ID repeated many times because here we have multiple employees in the same department. So in order to filter them, to make them unique, we can use the distinct. After that, we have taken the how to display the table structure using the describe command. Actually, we have taken this from the first day, but anyway. And then later we went through this quick quiz, and we found that the second and third are the correct sentences, while the first and last are not working. Even though this one uses as, and sorry, this one is not working. This one doesn't use as, and this one uses as. Okay, but it works. So that's all about this. Limiting rows using selection, how to limit rows using the where clause. We learned about the where clause, how to create a condition, how to use the operators, the equal, greater than or equal, less than or equal, not equal, and so on. This is the comparison operators that could be used with the where clause. So we learned all of these things, including between and, inset, like, is null, is not null, and so on. And we tried them all. We have taken examples for every operator. Okay. Then here we learned about the and or, and also not. Okay. We took some examples here. We took the truth table, and for the not operator, for the also we learned about the sorting rows. We learned about the order by command, and it's supposed, as I mentioned, it must come after the where clause if the where is available. Otherwise, if there is no where clause, then it should come after the table name. Okay. So here, as you can see here, from employee, this is the table name. Then we don't have where clause. That's why the order by comes directly after it. Otherwise, if let's say we want to put the where clause, we have to put it here at the middle. Okay. Then we learned the ascending and descending. We learned the sorting for single column, for multi columns, and so on. Also, we learned how to make the substitution variables to ask the user to key in some values for certain parameters used in our query. And also we learned how to make this for single parameter and also for multiple parameters, right? Here, after that, we came to using functions to customize output. So we learned that we have two types of functions. The first type is single row, and we have taken this. For the multi-row functions, we didn't take. Inshallah, we are going to take it today. For this, what is the difference between them? This first, single row function takes one row and gives for each row one result. But this one, the multi-row functions, takes multiple rows and gives only one value as aggregation or as summary. Okay. So here we learned about the lower, upper, initial cap, concat, substring, length, int string, and many others, right? Then here we came to the round rank mode. And after that, we stopped here, right? Is that okay, guys? Are you
okay? Okay.
Hopefully the attendance is okay. We have one student absent. Don't forget to record your attendance on the Bootstrap, please. One more thing before we start the nesting functions, I want to inform you that this week is week 6, right? And we have to do the assignment, the first assignment that's going to be used instead of the test one, right? So by today, inshallah, I'm going to share with you the assignment question through the Bootstrap. So please follow the Bootstrap, and the submission must be before Friday. So the last day is Thursday. Thursday, 12 midnight. Okay, so please make it, because the deadline is to submit before Saturday. this is my side. The deadline for me as a lecturer, I have to submit, I have to key in marks before Saturday. So I have 1 day to complete marking, then inshallah key into the system. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
Doctor,
ready
is
inshallah
it
for that?
yeah, Doctor, is it a project or just assignment?
It's an assignment, but the assignment, you are going to see the question later. The assignment is only one question. I will give you scenario. Then you are asked to draw the, what they call it, the, La ilaha illallah, I forget the name. The, what they call it, the, La ilaha illallah. The model. I lost my name, my words. Yeah, the ERD models. You have to draw the ERD diagram, entity relationship diagram. Then from the entity relationship diagram, you have to convert it into a relational database. And after that, you have to go through the normalization stages. So you have to check either your design in the first normalization form. If okay, then go to the next. If let's say, if not okay, you have to describe why it's not in the first normalization form and what we are going to do to make it in the first normalization form. Then after that, if already done in the first normalization form, we go to the next one, which is the second. We check the conditions of the second. Then we see either our table or our design in the second normalization form or not. Then if not, we have to mention why and what we are going to do until we make it in the second. And after that, we go to the third and so on. Okay? As exactly what we have taken in the courses. Okay, I will upload all videos, inshallah. I promise to upload by today. Sorry, I couldn't upload last week because really I got very strong cold and flu. That's why until now I have fever, still have fever and headache. But inshallah, because we don't have enough time, I have to make it by today, inshallah. I will upload everything to help you. I mean, if you forget anything, you can easily go back to the videos and learn how to make it. Inshallah, okay? Are you ready, guys, or not?
Okay,
Ready for the
Doctor.
assignment?
Yes.
Yeah, you are confident to make it?
Inshallah, Doctor.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
So please, this is a very good opportunity for you to get good marks, okay?
Doctor,
Yes.
if we have any questions, can we WhatsApp you?
Yeah, but I cannot give you the answer.
Yeah, just like
Yeah,
guidance.
yeah, I cannot give you
Of
the
course,
answer because this one is evaluation, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I cannot give you the answer. But if you miss some fundamental parts, then I can help you in general, not related to the assignment. Because once we came to the evaluation, I cannot help you really.
Okay.
Yeah, before the evaluation, before the test, I can help you anytime. You can WhatsApp me anytime. You can ask me, and we can discuss. We can open an online meeting and we discuss. No problem. For me, I have no issue with that. But once it comes to the evaluation, it's amana. I cannot do anything.
Doctor,
Yes.
why can't we extend the date because we have so many exams this week?
We cannot because we are 1 out of 8 groups.
Oh, I
Oh
see.
yeah, some of them has finished last week. But because I was sick last week and I couldn't make it really, that's why I have the last option now is to make it this week. It's not hard, guys. It's supposed to be very easy, but you have to carefully make it. Okay?
I hope so, Doctor, because we have so many assignments this week. It's cram.
Yeah, this one is not a normal assignment. This one is test one, right? Yeah, this is a higher priority than the other assignments. So please, guys, try not to bring more excuses because we have no choices. It's not in my hand. If we delayed it, then we will not be able to key into the system. Then we'll go through an issue. Then we have to contact the people in charge, and very long story. You know, now everybody is working from home. To give us permission to to key in marks after the deadline is not an easy task. Yeah, and also I don't like to be very late. Okay.
Okay.
We don't want to waste more time. I'm going to for today. I'm going to divide the things into two parts. The first part is to go through the slides. The second part we will try to take one scenario. Then we have to go through that scenario step by step and see how to make it. Similar to what we are going to get for our assignment. Okay. So don't worry, inshallah, we are here to help you. But as I always mention, there is no free marks. So we have to always remember this. So I tried my best to help you. So if you cannot make it, then it's your fault. It's not my fault. Okay, guys?
Okay, that's
Yeah, if anything, as I mentioned, if anything fundamental you missed from our classes, or maybe you cannot understand after you repeat the video or after you go through the slides, you couldn't understand or you missed some parts, then you can easily contact me and I can explain to you. Or maybe you go directly to my videos, then inshallah you understand the detail. Okay? Okay, let us start with the nesting functions. So in this slide here, we have something called nesting functions. What does it mean? This means how to use a function inside another function. So as you can see here, we take substring from the last name. So we start from character number 1. We take 8 characters. Then after that, the result of this function, it's going to be injected into the concat. So concat here will concatenate the result of the substring function with underscore us. You see? So the result here will become 11 character, right? Because we will take 8 characters from here. If there is 8, if the last name is less than 8 characters, then for example, if it's only 6 characters, then the result here will become 6 characters. But the maximum supposed to be 8 plus 3. This one is 1, 2, 3 characters. Okay. So here the result after that, the result of the concatenate, it will be passed to or injected to the upper. So every letter will become capital. Then after that, we want to change its name. The result of this, the column name, it will be changed to name. Okay. So here exactly as we use as, like this, as name. Okay. This is the standard command. But to make it easy or to shorten the command, we can omit the as keyword and also the quotations. Quotations here we can dismiss because we don't have space inside our name. Okay, then here if we see this result, okay, if let's say we go here and we run this here, last name from faculty members. Here we take the last name, then upper name, upper concatenate, substring, blah blah blah. Okay, so here we can see. Let us go through. What is this? Oops. Yeah, like this. So I'll make it one line to make it easy for you understand it. Okay, the result, the final. Oh my, what is this? Last name. Oh, because we don't have this field, right? We have L name. We have L name, right? Also this one, because we copied this command from the slides, you see this one is a special character, right? That's why it's very very hard when you copy from other places, then you paste here inside your Oracle SQL developer, then you will face a lot of issues. Okay, you can see the difference between this one and this one. Yeah, there is a little bit difference, so we have to be careful always. Okay, so if we run here, this is the result. Okay, okay. Now as you can see here, these are nested functions, 3 nested functions. So the result of the first function, the inside function, will be an input to the second one, and then the result of the second function will be an input for the third. Okay, let us see how it works. So I will make 3 copies here, then I will get rid of this. I will keep only the first function, then I will get rid of the third function only, then I will see how it results. Okay, so now we see the result of this. The first function is to take substring from the last name, starting from character number 1 until 8 characters. So the result of this maximum string is 8, right? But in this case we have Ali, so it's 3, right? That's why it will retrieve only 3. Then after that, if we take this, or maybe it's better to make it like this. So we instead of 3 commands, we show the result of the 3 functions together, right? So here, this one to make it easy for you to differentiate between them. Okay, so the first function will be shown as name1, the second function will be named as name2, and the third will be named as name3. Okay, so here we run, we see the result of the first function is to take 8 characters starting from character number 1. So as we see here, we have only 3, so we take only from 1. We try to take 8, but we cannot find. We found only 3, that's why we retrieve only 3. For this name MOHAMED, we have 7, that's why it retrieves 7. This one has 4, retrieves 4. And the second function is to concatenate the result, which is the first column here. There is this result with the underscore US. Okay, or maybe let us use like that because the underscore is not appearing here. Okay, let us see. Then the result will be to attach the result of the first function, which is the input to the second function, with the minus US. So as you can see, here is the result. Then after that, we want to make it uppercase because this one is capitalized. Only the first letter from each word is capital. Then we want to make it capital, all capitalized. Then we see the result. So the input, this one is the result of substring. Then this one is going to be injected to the concatenate to give this result. Then this will be injected to the upper function here to give us this result. This is what they call it, nested functions. Okay, is there any question, guys? Any questions? Yes. Is it clear? Okay, I
In
assume
one
it's clear.
statement.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Yes.
So nesting function is basically combining all function in one statement. In one statement.
No. It's not like that. Okay, let me explain more. Sometimes sometimes. Let's say we will take one of the easy functions, okay? Like what they call it, this one, concatenate, okay? Concat. So concatenate should have one field here, then comma, and the other field, right? Until now, is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So if, let's say, we want to inject something here and another thing here, and this thing that we want to inject here is a result of function, another function. So in this case, what they call it, this function result will be an input for this function, okay? So this is what they call it, nesting the function. So we nest this function inside that function, okay? For example, if let's say we want to insert, for example, here the today's date, so we can use the function of that retrieves now from the system. Then we inject this now here, and after that, for example, we, let's say, wants to inject another thing here. So maybe we want to retrieve, for example, the maybe order ID or whatever. Then these two things will become concatenated for some reason, definitely. For some, if we need it for some reason, then we can make it. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So here, the other scenario, if let's say we want to, for example, use scenarios like what we have seen here. So maybe if, let's say, names are very lengthy, then we want to take the initial letters only from the system. Okay, we want to take only the initial letters from every name, then we attach them together. Then after that, for some reason, we want to put something in front of them, in front of that. Okay, so let us take that. Let us go here. This one, what do we have here in the faculty? I will try to give you a real scenario. So here in the faculty, we have last name, first name, and department, right? So here, if let's say the question or the requirements is to retrieve the initials from the first name and the initial from the last name, then we attach it or we concatenate it with the department number plus the office ID. So for example, we want to make last name, first name, like this, department, then like that, and office number. Okay, like this. Okay, so how we can make it? Can you tell me how we can make it? We can use this command, the same command here. Can you, guys?
We use the init for
So
the
we don't want to take the last name. we want only to take we want to take substring from the last name, and we need to start from letter number 1. We take only one character, right? Right or not?
correct.
Yes. So this one is the first requirement. Let us take the second requirement. The second requirement is to bring, now we want to display them in separated columns. We want to take the first name. From the first name, we want to take one character starting from character number 1. So means the initial only, right? Then after that, we want to concatenate these two, right? We want to concatenate these two together. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Now let us delete this, or we at least remove it from here to let you understand what is going on. Okay. So here, if we run this column like that, command like this, it will give us the initials of every person, right? So this is successful, right? Then the requirements is to attach these two together, right? So in this case, we have to take these two and we put them inside the concatenate, right? So let us take this concat like this. The concatenation function requires how many fields? 2 fields, right? So this is the first field. It's a kind of function. And the second field also is a kind of function, right? So now we nested functions, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, is that hard? Is that hard?
No.
It's very simple, right?
Yes.
Okay, let us see now. Okay, together, successful. Then what we want to do, again, we want to take the department, right? So department ID is called department. What we want to do here, we have two choices here, either to make this column, then we use this like that, and after that 2 columns like this, then we bring the department. So this together is going to be concatenated, right? Okay, successful. So instead of using this, we can also still use the concat, right? But that will become very complicated. So if let's say we want to use the concat instead of the double colon, in this case it will become like this. So here we have to write again concat like that. Then the result of this function, the entire function, is going to be the first parameter. Okay, then we have to make comma and we pass the second parameter, which is this, right? Then after that we write another concat. Then we take the result of this function as the first parameter, then we put comma here, we remove this, we put the department as another parameter. Okay, let us try this. It's working 100%, inshallah. Oh, this one is because we forgot to put the semicolon. Okay, it works, right? And also this one works. Oh, why? Yeah, because we forgot to put this. Okay, like this. Okay. Actually, this is, in this case, is not a good practice to write this command, but because our topic here is to understand the nested functions. But if I'm asked to do this, I'm going to use this way. Much easier, right? So it will give us the same result. Because this is all about concatenation, right? But if let's say after that, if after this, okay, let us complete. So now you understand what is the meaning of nested, right? I'm going to delete all of this. Yes. But after that, if what's the requirement is to make this, right? Suppose that we want to make it like that. If let's say the department is 10, then we need to make it 0, 10. If the department is 2, we will make it 0, 0, 2. So here we are going to use the padding function, right? So we go to the slice here. Okay, we learned the padding function, right? So this one, what kind of padding function we need? We need the left band, right? Left pad, right? So here we take this function. Okay, we put it here. Then we take what we want to take here. We don't want to take the salary. We want to take the office ID, right? Office ID. Then we want the length of it 3. So we want to make it 3. but the padding at the left side must be, as I mentioned, always the special character is coming. So we want to fill up the spaces using zeros. Okay, so in this case, it will work like this, right? So here we succeeded to retrieve the what they call it, the office ID with zeros at the left side. Okay, so now if let's say we want to make them together, we want to combine them together. So here also we still can use concat, right? I mean the double colon instead of concat function. But later after that, if let's say we want to make them all lowercase, for example, because they are uppercase already. They are uppercase already. We forget to add this. Then that. Okay. So here, if let's say we want to make everything small letter, then here we can use lower function, right? What's the spelling of lower function? Upper and lower, right? I forget the spelling. Yeah, lower. Okay. Lower function like this. Then we put everything inside here. Everything inside as one parameter, because lower function can take only one parameter, which is a string. Okay, let us run now. Okay, the result is as we needed, right? So if you can see here, we have one function includes how many functions? 1, 2, then 3 functions, right? And the result of this function and that functions are concatenated together. Then we are they are injected into the lower function to get the final result. So this is what they call it, nested functions. Okay, I think it's more than enough. If is there any question in this regard?
No, understand already, Doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. What else here? We have something called NVL, null value function. Null value function. How to convert a null value to an actual value? So data types that can be used are date, character, and number. So the input for this function could be either date or character or number. All of them can work. Okay. So here data types must match like this. So the first thing, we can give the column commission. Then we change it. If this column has the value of null, we change it to 0. If this date is null, we change it to this date. If this job is null, then we change it to no job yet. Okay, understood? So we give the original field or value. We check it with this function. If it's null, it's going to be replaced with the second parameter. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So here, let us take one example. Hopefully, if we have null value in our table, in our database, then it's going to be much easier for us. Okay. We don't have. So let us see the faculty members. Let us insert person number 6. Let's say Noor. Then we have, for example, the network office, let's say number 6, and the phone number is null. Then email is also null, and okay, we leave it like that. It's enough. Then we see here. Okay, now we have 2 null values. Okay, let's say we want to select last name and phone number. in this case here, we will have null value, right? But instead of this, if let's say we want to check, okay, null value, this field, if it's null, we are supposed to write no phone number. Okay, so in this case, the result will be like that. What happened? We lost the connection. Stop. Network is not stable at the. Okay, so as you can see here, no phone number. Okay, is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so null value checks the first parameter. If the value of the first parameter is null like this, then it's going to change it with the second parameter. If the value of the phone is not null, then the original value will stay as it is. Okay. Then here we have something called case expression. Case expressions is very similar to the case that you have learned in Java. Switch case. You know that command, switch command? Yes, it's very similar to the switch that you have learned in the Java. So here, not available in Microsoft Access, definitely, because Microsoft Access is not an professional database, but it's available in the SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. Okay. Here, the thing is like that. We select the column. This is actually a select command, right? Select something from a table, right? Then here we can select normal column like that. Then after that we can, after the comma, we can, instead of using another column name, we can use the case sentence. So in the case sentence, we can check whatever. Maybe we check the date, when the date born, less than 90, then baby, or like that. Okay, so let us take this command to save the time. I'm going to copy it, paste it here, but make sure that there is no special characters copied in your command. Okay, like here we have many special characters, right? So here, okay, instead of animals, we are going to use what they call it, faculty staff, faculty members. Okay, so from faculty members here, we are going to use first name concatenated with single space, then concatenated with last name, and sorry, last name like this, then comma. Okay, after the comma, we are going to check the salary. For example, we are going to check salary. Okay, salary. Do we still have to use this date? No, because this one is only to convert this the string saved in this field into date format. Okay, so we don't want to use it, so we can use like this. Everything will be salary, and here also is salary. Then to make it easy for you, so if the salary is less than 5,000, for example, let us use junior. Okay. Then if the salary is between 5,000 and what's the salaries that we have here? I forgot. So we have to write something compatible with our data. Okay, so let us check our data first. 7,9 we don't have anyone with okay. Okay, it seems that we have to rewrite the update command. So update what they call it, equality members, then set salary equal to 350,000, for example, and where ID is equal to 6. Okay, so here also we need to change something else instead of full. So rank equals to junior command. Okay, so it will show an error, I think, because the rank, I think, has a condition. Okay, has a constraint, I think. Invalid identifier, you see. Yeah, why invalid identifier? Because here in the table we have a constraint. So instead of let's fix the constraint. The constraint, putting the check. This one, salary is rank. Here we have to put something called junior. Okay. Oh, we call it this one. Okay, and here also we have to put single quotation. Then we have to make this also junior. Run. Okay, one row updated. So here we can run this command to check our, okay, 3,000. Okay, so if less than, for example, 4,000, we make it junior. If, for example, greater than or equal to 4,000 and less than 8,000, then we make it senior. For example, this one is special characters. We have to be careful when we copy. Then when salary is greater than or equal 8,000, we make it what they call it, pro. For example, okay. Oh. Then we have to write then. Okay, so we delete this. We delete this. We're supposed to write here. What is this here? Else. So if the three conditions are not satisfied, this one else is going to be used, right? So here, if let's say the salary is null, for example, then it will show unknown, for example, unknown. Okay, that's all about it. So in this case here, what is this going to show is like that. Let us show the salary here. Salary, comma. Okay, This is the salary and this is the condition. Okay, as you can see here, the column name is very long, right? So here, instead of that, we can use as, then double quotation like this, then we say, for example, state, for example, or whatever. Okay, so this one is to rename this column header, right? Okay, let us see how is the result. Okay, nice. Is that clear, guys? So here, this case, the entire case here is used as a column. Okay, is used as a column. Here we can write any column, right? Instead of that column, we put the case. We put the case comma. Okay, then the case here has an end, right? Case end. Inside the case, we have many when clauses. Many when clauses, and also we can have else. Else is not necessary, so it's an optional, I think, if I'm not confused. Yes, it's an optional. But here in this case, if we have, for example, anyone without salary, then the case will become okay. Let us update this. Let us create a case to handle it. Very slow. Working on the faculty database is like wasting time. See, connection is failed. Okay, now it works. You see here. Okay, what we have here, we have all those guys have this salary 3000. Okay, let us run because we did not run the commit. We want to run the commit, keep our data, because if we miss to run the commit command, then the connection is lost. Then the data actually is going to be rolled back automatically. Okay, that's why every time we see after the connection loss, we see that some of the data is going to be lost. Okay, now we have how many person with all people are with salaries, but suppose that person number 4, we make its salary null. Okay, null, and this one we want to remove. This one is supposed to change to 7. Oh, we don't have 7. This one's supposed to change to 4. It's stuck. Okay. So here we see number 4. So one row updated. We check here the data again. So here we have one with null, right? What if we run this command again? So in this case, we have all of them has status, right? Only this one has no value, okay? Because we did not have else here. We did not have else. Else, we supposed to make it, for example, unknown, or maybe new, for example. Okay, now we see here new. And also this one is ugly, right? So instead of the salary, we use NVL, because the data looks ugly, right? NVL. So if the salary is null, we can change it by 0, right? So here together is like that. Okay, much nicer, right? Is this clear? Yeah, this one, the first condition here, we have only this one, this less than 4,000, it's junior. Then we have between 4 and less than 8. That means these two guys only, right? So these two guys are senior. Then senior, right? Then the third, close your mic, please. Makes a lot of noise. Okay. So the last one is greater than or equal 8,000. We have these two guys, Musa and Ahmed. So they are professors. And this guy who has no salary, it's going to be handled with the else clause. Okay. So the result, the column name of the result is going to be renamed as status. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, yes.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, good. Then here we come to the final thing, which is the multiple row function. Multiple row function. Multiple row function takes a lot of rows, then it calculates something and come out with one result for them. So it may calculate the salary for 10 or 5 people to come up with the maximum salary, or maybe to come up with the total salary, or maybe with the minimum or average or whatever. Okay, so here group functions operate on sets or rows to give one result per group. One result per group. The single row function gives one result for each line, for each record. But this one, for multiple records, it will give only one result. That's why they call it aggregate function. So here, what type of functions that we have here is the average. Then inside the average, we can give the column, or even we can use, for example, column multiplies by other thing, or column multiplies by other column, or substituted by other column, or whatever. So we have to, we can use only single column or condition. Sorry, not condition, formula. Okay. Then we have max function. It will go through all the values for that column, then will retrieve the maximum value, and the min will retrieve the minimum value. The sum will result, or will retrieve the summation of all values in all rows. Okay. Then we have the count star, or count a column, or count distinct column. This one is to retrieve the number of columns. Okay, let us go through examples. Okay, group functions ignore null values in the column. So if, let's say, we use commission, but the commission have some records that has null value, then that values will be excluded. That values, that null records, are going to be excluded. Okay, as you can see here, AVG. We use AVG. So here, instead of this, we can use AVG. Then we give, for example, salary, right? So here it will give us the average salary. Ya Allah. I think I should prepare my local database to make it easy for us. Otherwise, it will waste our time. Okay, so the average salary is 7,000, right? Okay, let us calculate it. I need to leave this command here, and after that we will write the other command. Okay, so if we take the, we lost the values. Okay, so here for this, salary is null. Okay, we run that. then we comment, run. So how many fields, how many rows that we have here with the null salary is only one, right? Okay, let us retrieve the average for this. The average is 7,000, right? 7,000. Okay, now let us calculate it manually and see what's or how it's working. So how many records here do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 records, right? So the average is to calculate the values of the salary like that. 9, 7. Then null. This one is 0. So we go and calculate the other one like that. So 35,000 divided by 6 columns, right? Divided by 6 columns. So the result here is 5833, while the result shown here by this function is 7,000. Why? Why 7,000? Because this one omits this number, right? So let us multiply by 6 to retrieve the original value. The original value is 35. Then we divide by 5 because the null value here is not counted. We will count only this one with values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 35,000 actually are going to be divided by 5. So the result would become 7,000. So null value records are not going to be included. If let's say we want to include, then we have to use the null value function here as a nested function. Then we replace the null salary to 0, and we give it to the average function. So in this case, the summary is going to be changed, as you can see here. Okay, so this is the salary. Okay, this is very good result because here we can use round function. Okay, round function to make it only 3 numbers. Okay, so here what we can use, we can say 3, right? So we need 3 digits after the floating point. Okay, only 3 digits. You can see here round is rounded to 3. Why? Because the fourth digit was 3, which is less than 5. That's why this 3 digits become 3. It's not rounded to the nearest one. Okay. If let's say we want to make it like that, round and 0, so we don't want the floating point, then we make it 0. It will become integer. Okay. And also we can use other functions. Okay, is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
So here, how many nested function? How many nested function do we have here?
3.
3 functions, right? 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah. This is how to use the nested functions. So it's a very good example to go through all of this. Okay, so it's already explained here in the slide. Okay, so group by. Okay, now the functions here. Let us take examples for the other functions like maximum, minimum, sum, summation, and so on. So here, for example, if let's say we want to calculate the summation like this. Why I make space? Sum here salary, and we name it as sum, comma, round salary. This one is AVG. So here it's going to show 2 columns. One column is the summation, which is 35,000, and the other column is the average. Okay. Also, if let's say we want to show the maximum salary, we also can use like that, max salary as, sorry, max here, then minimum salary as min. Okay, so here we can run this command and see. So the summation of the salary is 35000, maximum is 9000, minimum is 3000, average is 5833.33. Okay, so this is what they call it aggregation function or multi-row function. Okay, the other thing, if let's say we want to count how many records do we have in our table, so we can easily say count star, right? Like this, count star, then we run like this, it will show 6 rows, easy. Okay, if let's say we want to count how many columns that has salary, how many columns that has salary, only 5. Why only 5? Because one of the members has null value, right, in the salary. That's why the null value is not going to be considered. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay, good. Any question yet?
No.
Okay, what else do we have? We still have something called, let me take this, how to use the concatenate inside our count function. Okay, so here, if let's say we want to count how many department here. Okay, so if let's say we use count department, then here it's going to show 6, right? 6. Why 6? Because it's going to count every column. But if let's say we use this distinct department, it's going to show, what is this? Your database connection has been reset. Any pending transaction or session state has been lost. So here we can see the result is only 3. Why? Because we use distinct. Distinct will count only every department as one time. Okay, so let us remove this. We return the star here, and we see how many departments do we have. Computer science, computer networks, and multimedia. 3, right? So our result is correct. Any question?
No.
So everything here is correct, right? Easy and correct. Okay, here, multi-row functions and null values. So group functions ignore null values in the column. So if let's say we want to use the multi-row function, as I mentioned, if the column has a null value, it's not going to be considered. That's why we mostly use them with NVL function to avoid unconsidering or not considering the null value records. Okay, so always make sure that all columns that has null values are handled in a good manner. Okay, so this is the example here. This is the result. The result is going to show the what they call it here. This one is grouped by department ID. So let us come here. If we want to count the salary, maximum salary for every department, so in this case we have to do grouping by the department ID, and after that inside the group we have to mention the what they call it, multi-row function. So this is how it works. So group by must come after the where clause, cannot come before the where clause. But if there is no where clause in our statement, then it can come after the table name immediately. Okay, but this one group by should come before the order by. Order by is always at last. Okay, this is the structure. But here for the group by, we have something to be considered. We have something very important to be considered. Okay, let us take this example. So we leave only the summation. We leave only the summation like this, and we delete all of the others. Okay, here. So here, this is the from table. Then after that, if let's say we have where, we can write it here. If let's say we don't want the where, if we don't have where clause, then we can use group by. Then, sorry, I added extra e, group by. Then I have to mention, for example, department. Okay, department. So I want to group by the department. Okay, so let us see, is this working or not? It's not going to work actually. Yeah, it's not going to work. I will tell you why. Okay, you see here, missing right parenthesis. Where is it? Oh, okay, there is an error here. So we missed right parenthesis. Okay, it works. Oh, nice. Okay. What if this one here? Yeah, that one is working actually. But what if, for example, we use the what they call it, rank here? Yeah. If let's say we use the rank, we select the rank here, and we use group by in the group by department here in the group by clause. So is this one working or not working? Can you think about it? Definitely it's not going to work. Why? I will tell you why. Okay, it's not going to work. You see here, not a group by expression. Not a group by expression here called blah blah blah. Line 3, this one. Line 3, this one here. Line 1, line 2, line 3. Then after that, column 8. Column 8 is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So from here, rank is wrong. Why is wrong? Because every column, remember this, this is very, very important to know how to work with the group by. It's a very important rule for the group by command. Every column appears in the select clause must appear at the group by. Must appear at the group by. So if let's say we group by the rank, then it's going to work. Okay, so junior, senior, full, assistant, every category shows the summation. Okay, or maybe the average, AVG, for example. Whatever aggregation function could be used. Okay. What if we remove this aggregation function? Yeah, it works, but there is no aggregation, right? There is no aggregation. So here we can count how many person per rank. How many person per rank? We can say count like this. Count star, right? Like this. Then it will show us how many person per rank, right? Here. Because we have 6 people, right? 2, 4, 5, 6. So that's correct. But what if, for example, we rely on salary? Count how many person takes salary per rank. So here we can see 1, 1, 2, 1. Why? Because one assistant has null salary, right? So we have to take care about the null value. Either we want to count them, consider them, or not. Okay? But here, this function's aggregate function could appear in the select clause, but not necessary to be shown here. It's not needed to be shown here, not needed to be listed after the group by. But any column other than aggregation function must to be listed here, must be listed by after the group by. Okay, otherwise it's not going to show result. Okay, if we delete the rank, if we put the rank here and we, for example, department, we group by the department, so in this case is not going to work. It's going to consider that this one is wrong. So instead of that, if let's say we want to display the rank, then here also we need to mention the rank here at the group by. So in this case, the things will be grouped based on the department and the rank together. Okay, so to understand this, we have to show the department as well in the select. Okay, so here we have CN junior, CS senior, CS full, MM assistant, CN full. Okay, so every two columns like this is considered as one group. Okay, the rule actually is that everything listed here in the select clause other than the aggregation function, any column listed here must appear or must be listed after the group by. Otherwise it's going to show an error. But it's not necessary to use only the columns that appears in the select. So you can use different things also. Okay, you can use columns, you can group by columns that's not shown in the select. But here in this case I will give you a real scenario. So if let's say we count how many person and per department, so we got this result, right? But how we are going to understand this number is what department and this number is what department? It's not meaningful, right? So that's why everything by logic, everything we grouped by, we also need to put it in the select clause. Otherwise our results will not show a meaningful result, but the command could work. You understand it? So now it's meaningful. Computer network has 2, multimedia has 1, computer science has 2. Okay, so by syntax, not everything in the group by should appear in the select. Okay, not everything in the group by should appear here in the select. But by logic, if we do that, if we do so, then the result will not be meaningful. As you can see here, it's not meaningful. Okay, for that reason, everything we grouped by, we should use it in the select here to make it more meaningful. Okay, but this one actually an option for you. So if you group by the department, it's optional to put it here in the select. But if let's say you put something as the rank here in the select and you did not use it in the group by, actually by syntax is not going to work. You see why? Because this one actually is going to show one value and this one is going to show multiple values. So this is a confliction, right? That's why we shouldn't keep this here unless we put it in the group by clause. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Okay, a little bit confusing, but this the group by needs you to do practice. You just have try to have a table, try to key in some information, some data, then try to apply multiple scenarios based on your life experience. Okay, so that's all about the group by. here is it's explained here. All the columns in the select list that are not in group function must be in the group by clause. Okay. However, the group by clause does not have to be in the select list. So anything, this is exactly what I explained just now. But because the result will not be meaningful, then you have to show the department ID, for example, in the group by. Okay. Here, use group functions in order by. Okay, guys, one thing. In the group by here, if you used average or sum or whatever, any group function, you never put it in the group by. Here, our aggregation function cannot appear here. It's meaningless. Even if it works, it's meaningless. It doesn't work actually, but if it works, it's also still or meaningless. It cannot be used. So anything other than the count, anything other than the aggregation functions in the select must appear here after the group by. Okay. To divide rows in the table into smaller groups. Okay. Using the group by clause, all the columns in the select. I already went through this. Here's group function in group by. Okay, if you use this, yes. Now, this one is forbidden to be used in the group by, but it's allowed to be used in the order by. It's allowed to be used in the order by. Because if, let's say, we want to order by the maximum salary in ascending or descending manner, then we can use the aggregation function in the order by. But in this case, this function actually is going to be repeated here. It's going to be repeated. Okay? Let us take an example on this. Let's remove that. Remove this only. Okay. So it shows one person per, or maybe we better use star because we have 6 people, so we better show them all. So here we have 2 people, assistant, 2 people as full, 1 as senior, 1 as junior. Okay. What if I want to order by the count star in descending. Okay, in descending. So it will show the categories that have 2 first, then the categories that has 1 as second. Okay, you see, we reverse the order. Okay, is that clear? So in case we are using a very lengthy function here, for example, the function is very long like that, maybe it's very complicated, maybe it has nested functions or whatever, that function or that entire field is going to be repeated here. But I'm not sure whether it works like this. For example, this. Did we use it here? It's available in some databases. Yes, works. So that's why alias name is very good. So instead of repeating the function here twice, instead of that we give it an alias name, then we use it. Okay, to make it easy. This one actually more maintainable, easier. For maintenance, it's much easier because if you write the function here, very complicated function, then you repeat it maybe at the first time, you copy and paste it here. But if let's say after 1 year you come back, then you try to fix something here, maybe you modify something here at the select and you forget to modify it here in the order by, then the code is not going to work. Okay, So also in terms of time, it will waste your time because you are going to change something here that also must be changed here in the same manner. So that the same task will be repeated twice. That's why using the alias name is time saving and easy to use, easy to maintain. Okay. Okay. That's all about it. Do you understand it, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So we still have 24 minutes to stop. Okay. Restricting group results. Okay, if you want to filter the result of the aggregation function, what you are going to do? So we want to show only, for example, this is the result. Three groups we have: 2500, 1500, 1230. For example, if let's say we want to show only the groups that has maximum salary 1500, so we want to exclude that group, right? So in this case, could we use where? Could we use the where clause? So maybe like this, where for example test, this one, or maybe we make it count like this to make it more readable. So could we use where count is, for example, greater than or equal to? Could we? Do you expect this one working?
Yes.
Sure. It's not working, guys. It's not working. Okay. It's going to show a very bad result. Okay. Why? Because this one is forbidden. Using the aggregation function in the where clause is forbidden. Where clause is all about the normal, it's only to use the normal columns here. So if let's say you want to use the rank here, maybe you can show only rank, for example, in, let us see, maybe we make a group like, or maybe for example, if let's say we want to filter the salary here, so salary is not null. Okay, salary is not null. So in this case here, it will show only 5 people, right? Because that one, the person with null salary is not considered. But if this is the case, it's better to count the salary here instead of making it complicated. Okay, it's the same result. So if we remove this like that and we count the salary, it will give the same result, right? Same result. Okay, but for this, for the course, for the understanding purpose, I'm going to use this like that. So here, what I can use in the where clause is only the normal columns. These aggregation functions are not allowed to be used here with the where clause. Instead, we have something else called having clause. So having clause is only to filter the, what they call it here, group by, then after that having. So here, as you can see, order by is always at last. Order by is always at last. Where is always after the from, then the group by, after that the having, if we want to filter something. So having cannot take normal column, but it could take the group or the aggregation function. So as you see here, having maximum salary greater than blah blah blah. Okay, so let us use it here. So having CNT greater than 1. Okay, in this case, What happened? Line 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. Why doesn't work? Because this one actually, I don't know why. Yes, it has to be repeated. It has to be repeated. This is one of the worst experience ever. Dealing with Oracle in such a way, you have to repeat some things exactly more than one time. It's not a good work, really. It's not a good design. That's why here it works. It can show only 2 for the full. But if let's say we remove this, so it will show two groups, because also the null salary person is counted. So we have 2 groups with 2 people. Okay. Really, this one is painful. Honestly, it's painful. It should work. You see, it's very good for you to remember. That's why I meant to make it a real scenario here, to see the fault, to see the error. Then in future you have to avoid it. So instead of rewriting the thing here, then you repeat it here and you repeat it here again. You better, if let's say you want to order by, you better create an alias name. Then after that, use that alias name for the order by to minimize the repetition. But for the having clause, you have no choice. You have no choice. Okay. So if let's say your function here is complicated, for example, is like this. Okay. Maybe if let's say we want to show only how can I say? Okay, let's say we want to summation, for example, like this, salary, then divided by count of star, because if let's say we want to show the average of the salary, it's not going to include the person who has null salary. So that's why if we want to include that person who has null salary, we have 2 options: either to use it like this, or to use the non-value function inside the average function. Okay. So in this case here, if let's say this one, we still want to keep the same name, count, because I don't want to modify here. So this one is not going to work. Let us take it here and see how is the result. So the result here shows us, because we group based on the rank here, it shows us the average salary for each category, right? But if let's say I'm going to take a snap here for the screen to show you. Okay. Later I will show you the difference of the result. So here, if we consider this average AVG like that, salary, so we will see the difference between the results. Okay, this one 9,000, 7,000, 353. This one you see here, because this one is not considering the person who has null value. Okay, that's why the second person here changed, because this one is divided by 1. 7,000 divided by 1, it will give 7,000. But one person has still 7,000 and the second person has null salary, then 7,000 divided by 2, it will give 3,700, 3,500. Okay, this is the difference of the result. Okay, what if we want to let's say we want to filter, let's say we want to show the result of the averages greater than 3,000. So we want to exclude only this one, the junior. Okay, so in this case, if we run like that, it's not working, right? So what we have to do is to take this compression and we duplicate it here. So if let's say we want to modify this like that, salary, then we have also to go here and modify it. Otherwise, it will give us different result, right? It will show us different result. Okay, let us see here. If we modify this and we forget to modify this, what we will have an inconsistent scenario. You see? Inconsistent scenario. Why? Because this one, if you remember this, in this case, we had 9,000, 7,000, 7,000, but if we change this to salary, you see the result. The result will become different. Oops. How come? Senior, oh, for example, this one is like that. Yeah. We did the opposite way. So if like this, you see, the result is going to be this. But if we change this or this, make it to make it equal to the other one, the result will be 977. Okay. So this is cannot be avoided. Just take care about it. Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And with displaying data from a table, so then we continue with displaying data from multiple tables, or known as join tables. Okay. For now, I'm not going to give you the joining, because joining is another thing that's a little bit confusing. Okay, a little bit more harder than the previous one. But in general, as I mentioned from the first day, database is very, very simple. Very, very simple. You don't need to think about it too much. It's not like learning Java or learning C# or C++ or something like that. That programming actually is more complicated than database. Writing SQL commands are very easy compared to normal programming. Okay, now we will stop here. Okay, so I will add this text here to remind myself later. We stop here. Save here. Then, inshallah, we are going to go through all slides, okay, to see what kind of assignment we are going to take. Okay, here. The first thing, we are going to learn how to make the entity relationship diagram. So here we are going to use the Cruise-Fork model. I want you to use the Cruise-Fork model. I will put it in the question, in the requirements of the assignment. So you have to deal with entities, attributes, and relations. So based on the scenario, I want to give you some information. Then you are required to draw the entity relationship diagram like this. So in case we have multi-valued columns, then you have to use the double line. In case we have derived columns, then you have to use the dotted line, and so on. Also, you have to use the underline, solid underline, to show the primary key, and the dotted underline or dashed underline to show the foreign key. Foreign key actually for now is not shown in the entity relationship diagram. The foreign key field is not shown in the entity relationship diagram, so don't confuse. Okay, only the primary key. Then after that, after we finish this, or before that, you have to make sure that the cardinality are full. So both sides supposed to be completed, supposed to be shown. So this one many to many is not complete. You have to mention many to many. Is it mandatory to optional, or mandatory to mandatory, or whatever? You have to mention here. So you have to put the I and O, or 1 and 0. Okay? Don't forget that. You have to remember all of this: unary, binary, ternary, and so on. You have to apply them in your entity relationship model. If, let's say, this is the scenario, so in this case, you have to go through your database design, entity relationship design, and you have to transform it to what they call it relational tables, or relational design. Okay, so here, if you remember, when we took this entity relationship diagram plus, when we took this, I told you that we can do 2 tasks. Okay, so I shouldn't tell you about this, but I want you to honestly work it from your heart. Okay, even though you can use some tools to make it, but the details are not going to be shown. That's why you have to make it by yourself. So after, for example, you create this entity relationship diagram, then easily, you see this diagrams actually created by my students last semester. Okay, and also you are going to be able to do this as well. Okay, so after you finish here, you can go to this, not from here. So let us go back. We can take this from here, and we can convert to relational schema. Okay, we can write the name test like this. Create and edit. So this is the relational schema. Okay, here. But this one, if you make it like that, if you give me only these 2 diagrams, you are not going to get anything. You will get 0, because the steps for the normalization must be complete. You must go through every stage. You must tell me, is it in the first normalization form? If yes, then you go to the second normalization form. If no, then you have to show me how you make it in the second normalization form. In the first normalization form. Okay, so you tell me that, for example, you still have multi-valued attributes or whatever. That's why we have to change the design from here to there. Then, after you change, you're supposed to get your database into the first normalization form. Okay, that's why I don't want you to rely on this, because this one here is not complete. Okay, this one is not complete. Don't do the mistake. Okay, I will show you why this one is not complete. Doesn't open in other place. I don't know why. Open. Okay, let's open this in different tab. And then here we open the original one. Here we open the second one. Is that documents? Open the test. I hope that you understand what I mean, okay? If you don't understand what I mean, please let me know. Here, if you see, for example, this one hospital, and this one, this table here. If we go to the hospital table, in the hospital table, we can see hospital ID, which is this one, shown as an ID, right? As a primary key. But what's about the request? Okay. Request here, we have the request ID is primary key, right? But here, there is no hospital ID, right? There is no hospital ID. While it's supposed to appear here. Because the relation is available here. There is a relation here between the request and hospital. So the request should have a field called hospital ID, which is a foreign key based on the hospital ID that comes from the primary table, which is the hospital. Okay, so don't rely on this diagrams, on this software. Okay, make it by yourself. Try to make it by yourself.
So doctor, we need to connect the table.
Yes, you need to connect the tables later. You need to show me every foreign key you have used. If you miss to show the foreign keys, you are going to lose many marks.
Okay.
Because based on the system, based on the requirements, there will be a fraction of marks for every step. So for example, if let's say the total mark is 100, so maybe for every step is only one mark or 1.5 marks, something like that. So if you miss the foreign key, you are going to lose like 1.5 or maybe 2 or 1, depends on the scheme. Okay?
Doctor, one more question.
Yes.
For the normalization, do we need to write in words or
Yes.
write in words to explain the
Yes.
normalization?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You must write in words. You must explain. But don't make it too much. If you make it too much, your expression is not good, then maybe you confuse me, you lose more, marks. That's why try to make the things clear using less sentences to make it easy for me understand and easy for me also to mark. Okay? So
Yeah.
let us see this. Take this diagram as an example. Okay. Let us go through the second one. How to transform? How to transform? We already have learned about this. How to transform? So transformation is very easy. Okay. So we learned how to transform the things. The columns here, the normal attributes, how to transform them into normal columns. And if let's say we have multi-valued attribute, how to transform it into other table with relation. Then if let's say we have calculated field or a derived field or derived attribute, how to make it here. Then if let's say we have what they call it, composite attribute, also how we are going to transform. Okay, so I will try if that scenario is enough. No, this scenario is not enough because it doesn't show what we want. Okay, this one is derived. Okay, so let us take this. Let's take this scenario. Okay, and also I'm going to add something here. So we need to add something like this. Then another attribute like that. And this attribute, let me fix this line with this color. this. This one also should be fixed. And here, instead of single line, we want to use double line. So double line here we cannot use unless we okay. I don't want to use any other software. Okay, I want to make it easy. Now we make it here. We try to make add the text to the text here. Scales. Yes. Okay. So this is the example here. Let us go and try to transform this. Okay, transformation here for the skills. How we transform this? Transformation. Step 1, mapping regular entities to relations. So simple attributes is going to be mapped directly into the relation. Directly, no need to do anything. So what we want to do here, for this here, we are going to show like that. How can I explain? What should I use? Maybe I use Microsoft Word. Okay. Microsoft Word. Okay, here in Microsoft Word, we are going to show the things. Okay, so here, what we want to do, the first thing we have to draw the entity relationship diagram. First, we put it here. Insert. For example, this is our entity relationship diagram. Maybe you use the entity relationship plus, maybe ERD plus from the online surface. You draw your diagram, then you bring it as a picture. You put it in your Word file. Then after that, you go directly after that you can say that this is the transformation like that from entity relationship diagram to relation. Okay, then you should give me the first relation. Number one is what is the first relation do we have here? What is the first relation? How many relations do we have here in this stage? Are you still with me, guys?
2.
2. Yes, 2. What kind of relations? Can you name them for me?
Employee.
Okay, employee, and
Dependent.
Okay, what's about the has? Isn't it a relation? Don't confuse, huh? Because I mentioned this last time. In this stage, when we talk about the transformation, every table is considered a relation, 2D relation, right? Which is columns by rows, which represents an entity. So here, when we say in this stage, when we say relations, that means entities. So in this case, we have this entity and the second entity. Okay. So here, employee table, and here we have the dependent table, right? Okay, let us go to the employee table. So what kind of attributes do we have here for the employee table? Can you tell me?
Employee ID.
So ID,
Name, skill,
Name and
skill.
skill, like this. No, it's wrong. Why? Why wrong? Because this one is multi-valued, right? And the multi-valued, if you go here to the transformation, for the multi-valued, for the single or regular attributes can be mapped directly. Composite attributes, we use only the symbol attribute. We don't map the composite attribute. For the multi-valued attribute becomes a separated relation with foreign key. Okay, don't forget this. So in this case here, instead of the skills here, what we are going to use? So this one is going to become another table, skills. So we name it as this. Then here we have skill ID. I'm going to use this, but this one, as I mentioned, is not a good practice. Using the table name for the column name is not good. So inside the skill table, the ID is supposed to be ID only. But only here, I use it to make it much easier to understand for you. Okay, so here, name underscore ID. This one is name. And don't forget, the names you put here supposed to be exactly as the names you use in the entity relationship. Okay? I don't know why I feel like be stupid. I didn't take this, so maybe I need to make it easy for us. Okay. What we are going to use is like that. Instead of this, we want to put this here. Okay. Okay, here we have, what do we have? We have the employee ID, employee name, and the skills. Skills here, we move it into other table. So here, skill ID and, skill description, or maybe skill name, whatever, skill name. Here, what we have to do here, we have to mention the skill ID, right? Which is a foreign key here. So I am going to highlight the foreign key with blue. With yellow. Okay, so the yellow, if you want to use this, you have to mention. You have to mention here. You can say that note foreign, for example, foreign keys are highlighted with yellow, for example. Okay. Then
if I use a bracket and put FK, which means foreign key beside the skill ID, can or not?
or maybe instead of this you can mention FK. Okay, easy. You can do whatever, but the way you make it, you just explain to me. So if you don't want to highlight, for example, if you don't to highlight it like this, it's much easier. No color. So you can write here foreign key, and here you can write BK. BK. Or instead of writing BK here, you can underline. Okay, but underline is not clear. Just write BK or FK. Okay, so here this one is already done. For the second table, we have to mention the BK. So immediately I can understand that this one is connected to this one to show the relation between the skills and the employee. Okay, and here the relation is one to many. So one employee could have multiple skills. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Okay.
Then if you want to from the beginning, if you don't want to use a double line here for the skills, and from the beginning you want to show the table of the skills and the relation inside your entity relationship diagram, it could be no problem. Okay, if you want to do that, so you can from the beginning show the table entity of the skill, how it's connected to the employee, and what kind of fields, and so on. Then when you transform, it will be easy. Okay, so it's up to you, you can work it anyway. The important thing, I want you to go through correct steps, and the steps must be displayed in a good way, very easy to understand, and by the end I want you to come up with a correct design, valid design. Okay, so here we are, right? We almost done. What's about the dependent? For the dependent,
Dependent name.
dependent name. Before the dependent name,
Date of birth.
is this design correct? Actually,
No.
not correct, right? Because it
Yes.
doesn't have an ID. Doesn't have an ID, right? So here we have to put an ID first. So if you make this, I will cut some marks from your entity relationship diagram because you missed the primary key for the dependent table. Okay? So don't forget anything. Don't forget the important thing. Rule number one, when we create an entity, we have to make a primary key. If let's say we don't have primary key, okay, you can, if you miss to make it here, then you fix it when you use the normalization, then I will give you the full mark. Okay, so if you miss it here, fix it later during the normalization, then okay, supposed to be no problem. Okay, okay, let us consider that we don't have an ID for the dependent. Let us start with the regular attributes. What kind of regular attributes do we have? Guys, I need 5 minutes, okay? Because I have an international call I have to answer now. Please, 5 minutes and we'll be back.
Okay.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Are you still here?
Yes.
Yes, Doctor.
I'm afraid that some students go again to somewhere. Maybe they are going to come back after 5 minutes. Should we continue or we wait until the 5 minutes pass?
Anything continue?
Okay. Let us continue. Okay, here for the dependent table, let us start with the regular entities first. Then after that, we go to the composite attributes. Okay, so the first regular attribute is date of birth. Date of birth. Okay, so this one is easily will be mapped like that. Then the second attribute is what? Dependent name. Dependent name, right? Is it correct or not?
Is it first name, middle name, and last name?
Yes. Okay, so we never do like that. This one is wrong. This one, dependent name, is a composite. So we don't map it at all. We just go and map its sub-entities, sub-attributes. First name, middle initial, last name. Okay, so here we have first name, middle initial, and last name, like that. Okay, here we are, we done. Okay, any question yet? Do you have any question?
No.
No for now.
Yes. So when we have multi-valued, immediately we create a table, right? Then the table, we should make a primary key for the table, and we should also go to the entity that has that skills. Then we insert the foreign key that's supposed to be connected to the primary key of the new table of skills, right? Then here for the multi or the composite attribute, we don't map it at all. We just map its own sub attributes. Okay? Okay. So here to write this easily, you can write it this way, or maybe you can write it that way. You can open like this. Sorry, we can take this like this, comma, like that, then comma, like this, and we close by. Okay, so one line is more than enough. One line is more than enough. Okay, for the second attribute, like this, to make it easy for me also to mark, I don't know why it doesn't work. I don't like using to use this word actually. Okay, so here, see, every time it's change. Okay, then we have like this. Okay, much easier, right? Very simple. Here, if you want to use this to show the primary key, that's fine. If you don't want to use it, you want to use the underline like this, then make sure you add this to the dictionary to avoid the red color line. Okay, add them to dictionary to avoid that that ugly line. Okay, here this one is also also primary key. So if let's say you put the underline like that, so it's enough. It's enough for me. Okay, what's about this? This one is without primary key. So is this working? If we implement it into the database, is it working or not?
No.
This one,
No.
it works. It works, but it works for a while until we have a big number of records inside this table. Then the queries will become very, very slow. Why? Because we don't have indexes. Okay, that's why we better have a primary key. So this field cannot be a primary key. This field also cannot be a primary key. The initial also cannot be a primary key. This one is also cannot be a primary key. So what to do here? What we can do, we can add the IC, for example, as a primary key, or maybe the passport number, or whatever. Okay, maybe an automated ID, auto incremental ID. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Okay, but if we use auto incremental ID, then the system could accept keying the same person more than one time. So that's why better maybe to use phone number or maybe email, depends on the application. Maybe email or maybe IC or maybe passport. If, for example, this is this to handle foreigners, for example, so passport is very important. Okay, but if this one is for local only, then we can use IC. This is one solution. So we have, if we have the IC here, it must be also in the entity relationship diagram. But if let's say we forget, for example, we don't have it, I need to continue actually with this. Let us see and apply the what they call it, the normalization. Okay, in the normalization here, we should close everything here. Sorry, you have to go through everything here. You have to understand how to map everything through the slides. You see here the mapping weak entities becomes a separate relation, blah, blah, blah. You have to go through all of this. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Then we go to the normalization slides. Okay, normalization. So here, why we need to do normalization? To avoid insertion anomaly, deletion anomaly, modification anomaly. Okay, if you forget, just go through to remind yourself. Okay, I'm not going to explain the anomalies. This is the stages. If let's say in the assignment, I ask you to do normalization up to third normalization form. So you reach the third normalization form, then you stop. Okay? Okay, let us see here. What we are going to do here, we should write here normalization. Okay. First is here. First, you can mention first normalization form. Okay, is our tables are in the first normalization form? Let us go through here. First normalization form, no multi-valued attributes. Then every attribute value is atomic. Okay, so here, is it possible to have repeated data here? or what they call it, multi-value columns? Is there any
No.
multi-valued columns here?
No. For employee, no.
No, right? For employee, no. So here we have to avoid any multi-valued attribute. This is the condition for the first normalization form. Okay. If let's say we didn't put the skills here, we only put the skills here as a field, then in that case we have to say that the employee is not in the first normalization form. Okay, let me now make it. If let's say we did not use that, we say skill name like this, or maybe skills like this. So in this case, employee, at first we have to talk about employee. First normalization form. It's, you have to write like this, it's not in first in F, because like that, because the skills attribute have is or have is a multi-valued Okay, then here solution, okay. Make solution here, solution like this. So here we must create the skills, or maybe transform the skills to table with a foreign key relation with below. Then you have to say like that. You have to mention this and this here. You have to mention this one supposed to be like that, and this one is a foreign key, like this. Okay, so this is if you missed this table, if this table is not available, if this table is not available and this column is like that, so the answer is supposed to be like this. But if you from the beginning, you put like this, and you put foreign key here, then you put the table like that. So here is the employee in the first normalization form. In this case, is it in the first normalization form?
Yes.
Why yes? Because here we don't have multi-valued attributes, and also primary key is already decided, right? Because the primary key in the at the beginning here did not mention the primary key. But if you go through in one slide, one of the slides, you will find that here candidate keys, you see. So the primary key must be found. Not here, maybe here, in somewhere. Just I don't care about it, because I already explained that before. So here we have to make sure that the primary key is decided and all attributes are not multi-valued. Okay, so in this case the answer you see how you make your answer much easier? So you can play with it. You can make it from the beginning easy for yourself. So here, it's in the first normalization form because you have to mention why it's in the normalization form or why it's not in the normalization form, because there are no multi-valued attributes and the primary key is already selected. Done. Okay, is that hard?
Yes.
No answer? Hard. Why hard? It's
No,
not
no,
hard.
no.
No, it's not hard. So, okay, here. What's about the skills? Skills table. Is it in the first normalization form here?
Yes.
Skill name is atom. Skill ID is the primary key. It's supposed to be unique, right? So here, it's in the first normalization form because there are no multi-valued attributes and the primary key is already selected. Done. Is that hard?
No, no.
Okay. What's about the dependent? Dependent. Okay. It's not in the first normalization form because the primary key is not or there is no primary key. Okay, because the table has no primary key. Okay. So solution. We must add a new attribute to present the primary key. Okay, like this. Now here, table like this. Put it here. We should say IC like that. Then we have to mention that this one is primary key. And now we can say so now it's in the first normalization form because there are no multi-valued attributes and the primary key is already selected. Okay, is that hard?
No.
Very
So
simple, right? Yes.
Doctor, so after we done the transforming to ERD to relation, right? So we must add the diagram, right?
What diagram do you mean?
For example, if I create the relation scheme from the ERD plus, I must add the diagram to the after the transforming from ERD to relation,
It's
right?
up to you. If you want to show it this way, it's
Also
okay.
can.
If you want to draw the diagram, it's okay also. It's up to you.
Okay, okay.
Only one very important thing. Make sure that I understand your design. Make sure that your design is readable and understandable. Otherwise, you are going to lose many marks. Because later, I'm not going to ask you, what do you mean by this or what do you mean by that? I'm not going to ask anyone because this one cannot happen. It's a very tough task if you want to do it. Okay, that's why we make this task as instead of test 1, we make it as assignment, and this assignment is going to be treated as an open book task, or open book exam. Okay, so that's why no second choice, no second option, no second opportunity. Understood? So from the first time, make sure that everything is correct. Okay, now if we go to the second normalization form, what we have to do?
Functional dependency.
What is it?
Functional dependency.
Functional dependency. Okay, so the second here, every non-key attribute is fully functionally dependent on the entire primary key. Okay, yeah, that's so easy, okay. So now the new design, you could write this after that step. So that step here, you can say that our design, because after every step, if you make any change, after every step of normalization, if you make any change, you have to summarize. Our design is or became as below. Okay, so here instead of this, we should say IC like that. Then this one is primary key. Okay, done. Then here we should start normalization. First, be better than repeating the thing here. You can say here first. Okay, first normalization. Then you need to repeat this. Then after that, we can start here. We can say here second, which is second F. We can take this and we can put it here. Okay, so the first thing, is there here partial dependency?
Yes. Foreign key.
Foreign key.
Yeah, the skill ID. The skill ID is partial dependent.
Oops. How come?
Because the employee name is not depending on the skill ID.
Yes. Okay, so this design actually is wrong, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because here in this case, every employee could have only one skill, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because from the beginning we forget to handle this issue, right? That's why now. So this one is not based on the employee ID, because maybe 2 or 3 people, 2 or 3 employees could have the same skill ID, right? So that means it doesn't depend on the full primary key. So here we have employee is not in the second normalization form because there are partial dependency, and you should mention, since for example, skill underscore ID is not depends does not depend on the primary key. Okay. So here, solution. Okay, solution. What to do here? What to do? Can you think about this?
Create another table.
Time is very short, and I don't want to extend the time of the class. So please try to quickly respond to me and make sure that you focus. So what to do now? What to do?
Create another table.
Create another table or middle, for example, middle table, namely what?
Employee skill.
In low skills. Okay, so as like this, then we create in low skills here, and what we have to do here inside, what we should have here in the employee skill.
Employee ID
Employee ID
and skill ID.
Skill ID. What else? That's
Skill.
all, right?
That's all also can.
Yeah. What do you want to say? Skill name.
Yeah, skill name.
If skill name, then you will fall back again into the partial dependency, because the skill name will not be depends on the employee ID, right?
Yeah, correct,
Okay,
correct.
suppose that we make skill name, because it's based on how you answer, because the second step is based on the first step. If you make the first step easy, clear from the beginning, then the second step will be easy. So if from the beginning we solve this issue by inserting from the beginning here, we inserted the middle table between the employee and the skill, then here easily we will say that okay, our employee table is in the second normalization form, employee skills also in the second normalization form, skills in the second normalization form, then we move immediately to the third normalization form, right? But because we did a mistake here, intentionally I left this mistake because I want to fall in this error to find a solution in the normalization steps. Okay, so here what we are going to do, we have also to decide what is the primary key. The primary key here is composite, right? Composite primary key. So if we make this, then we check now, okay, this one is actually going to be removed, so we have to keep this like that. We have to say that these tables are going to be fixed like this. So this one actually is going to be deleted, right? Because we no more need the skill ID inside the employee, am I right? So here the employee table is already in the second. So we can say here like this, now it's in the second, in this one in the second, this in the second from the beginning, right? Second in, right? What's about this? Is it in the second?
No.
Not in the second, right?
Yes.
So this one need to be fixed. So how we are going to fix it? Here we can say not in second and if. We still have to do some more. So instead of because you put this here because you don't want to have this table, right? So your answer here is like this. So if you from the beginning you put this table and you miss or dismiss this column from the beginning, then your life become easier, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here we can say it is in second normalization form. Done. Okay, so here is there a partial dependency here?
No.
No. Why no? Because partial dependency. Okay, what's the definition of the partial dependency here? Partial dependency when non-key attribute relies partially on the primary key. So easy, very easy. If we have a primary key not composite, that means we don't have partial dependency, right? Because the primary key is only one field. So partial cannot happen. And also, if let's say we have composite attribute, composite primary key, but we don't have non-primary key fields. So in this case also we don't have a partial dependency, right? Because we don't have a non-key fields at all. Is that clear?
Yes.
It looks like you only attending my class. Where is the others? Nobody is responding to me. Only you.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is for your advantage. If you don't want to attend, that's up to you. This one is to give you the entire way of solving the assignment to get better marks, right? So please try to pay
Yes.
attention, okay?
Sorry for not talking.
Yeah, that's fine. So now everything in the second normalization part. So we can, if we want to make our life easier from the beginning, we can from here we can create the table, skills table, and we also create the middle table here as a relation. Then we easily go here and we put 4 tables, and every table with the primary key. So dependent also we add the IC here maybe or whatever. Then we list our tables. Then we check here. Yes, our tables are in the first normalization form. So maybe one sentence is enough to write instead of writing all of this. So you can say that all of our tables has no multi-valued attributes and every table has a primary key. So our design is in that first normalization form, dot, finish. We move directly to the second normalization form. Then if from the beginning you consider all of this, then easily you will say that there is no partial dependency in our design. All tables are in the second normalization form, dot, finish. Okay, you see how we can make it easy?
Yes.
Yes. So here, what do we still have? We still have this. We still have this. This one also need to be checked. Is there anything not depends on the primary key?
No, everything depend.
Yeah. So here it's also in very easy, guys. Very easy. Really, I feel like we are wasting time. Honestly, I'm telling you, it's very, very easy, like playing, you know. If I teach this to my kid, I'm sure they will understand how to make it, right? It's very easy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So here we have third normalization form. Okay, so what's about the third? So this is the database. What is the third? Let us go to the slides and see. What is the third normalization form? Actually, to be in the third normalization form, you have to be in the second and first before, right? Then after that, you think about the third. So we already finished the first, we already finished the second, then now we can be in the third. Okay, the third is to avoid transitional dependency, right?
Yes.
Yeah, where is it? Here. Second. Here. Here. Yeah. Third. There should be no transitive dependencies. What is the transitive dependencies? When one attribute functionally determines a second attribute, which functionally determines by a third, or determines a third one. So if you remember, we draw this as like that. I don't know why it's very, very slow. So this region is based on the salesperson, then the salesperson is based on the customer. So we have something shaped like S, you see here. Okay. Let us go there. Go to our design here. Is there any transitive? Definitely
No.
here there is no, because we only have one non-key field. So to have transitive, you have to have more than one attribute, more than one non-key attribute to be to have an opportunity to get transitive dependency. But when you have only one one field non-primary key, then here it's impossible to have transitive dependency. Also for the second table, it's impossible. For the third table, it's impossible because here we don't have any non-key field. The opportunity is here. Is there any opportunity here to have transitive?
Yes.
Where is it?
First name, middle initial, last name.
Last name is based on the IC. If the IC changed, the last name changed. Right?
Correct.
Initial also the same. First name also the same. Birthday is also the same. So everything here is based on the primary key. There is no partial dependency. Where we could have partial dependency, if let's say we have like this, if let's say we have like this, maybe country, city, like this. So city here is based on the country, and the country is based on the IC, right? So here, what do we have here? Is like this. Correct or not?
Correct.
Is that clear?
Yes.
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 So don't fall in the trap, because in the assignment I'm going to bring bring all the scenarios that could happen. So be careful. Try to avoid any trap. Okay. I'm not going to make your life miserable, but I'm trying to let you understand, because I want to make sure that you go through every small scenario. Unfortunately, this semester is not face-to-face. Otherwise, I'm going to give you many things, more than you think. But because of virtual classes, unfortunately, many things cannot be given. Okay? Okay, so for now, there is no partial transitive dependency. So all of our tables are in the third normalization form. Am I right? Easily.
Yes.
We can say all of our tables are in the third in the finish. Full mark. Now is full mark. Okay? Any questions so far?
So for the normalization also, we don't need to is it a diagram, right? If we don't want.
No need. Only like this. Just answer it like that. Make your life easy. Just make sure that everything is understandable by me. When I read it, I can understand, and don't write with your hand also, because some of you have not clear handwriting. Okay, so try to use Word or whatever, make everything clear, make everything nice, and consider every small case. Okay, if for now, is it clear? Any questions so far?
Yes, no question.
Yes, sir.
No question. Okay, now suppose that we have country and city. This is also for your advantage. Okay, so this one here is not in the third. Three R D. Word. Not in the third. Here everything is in the third. Oops. Sorry. It's in the second here. Here we can say that this one it's right in this table is in the second normalization form, because here we don't have partial dependency, right? Because the country will be changed if the IC changed, and also the city will be changed with the IC, right? So it's there is no partial dependency, but there is a transition dependency, because the city and country will change together, and the city is based on the country itself. So if the country changed, then the city changed. But if let's say we have like 100 people living inside the same city, then the country is not going to be changed, the city is not going to be changed. But if let's say we have like two people are living in the same country but different cities, so the IC could change, the country could change, but the city could remain the same or could change. So it depends on the country, right? Okay, here in this case it's not in the second, in the third normalization form. Why? Because the city, like this, you make it like that. Just do it like this. City is based on country. Country is based on employee ID. Okay? Or maybe we can say country to make it easy, because this one needs, if we make country and city, we have to have more than two tables. Okay, because we have to have a table for the city and we have also to have a table for the country. Then we have to create the relation between city and country, then a relation between the dependent and the country, or maybe the dependent and the city. Okay. By the way, the relation in this case here, the transitive dependency is not necessary to be like this. So not necessary for the city to be based on the country. It could be the opposite way. It could be like this. So the country is based on the city, then the city is based on the IC. Depends on the scenario, okay? I don't want to confuse you. I just want to make sure that we go through the minimum, okay? So I make this country ID and here country name. So in this case, country name is based on country ID, then country ID is based on the IC. So here we have to change this also. Country score.
What's the solution?
ID. Yes. Yes.
The solution of third normalization.
What do you mean solution?
The solution of third normalization.
We are going through. Yeah, we are going through the solution. Now we show where is the error. The error is this. This one is the problem that makes the table not in the third normalization form. The solution, how to make it? Now we should write the solution. Solution here. So we have to create this. Copy this here. Okay. So dependent supposed to have country ID, but not supposed to have country name. So it's in the third. Okay. So this one become in the third normalization form. Finish. This one is finished for the dependent. And now we need to have country table. Then we open this. We make ID for country ID like this, and country underscore name. Okay. So in this case, because this table is new, we have to check either it's in the first, in the second, in the third. So this one is already done, right? This one is already in the third normalization form. So no need to check anything. But this one for the new table, we have to make sure that everything is run smooth. So here, what we have to say, we have to mention this one. It's in first in F because you finish. Then it's in the second in F because also you have to because okay. Then the third here, you can say it's in the third in F because. Okay. So here, is it in the first normalization form?
Yes.
Yes, it's in the first normalization form because we don't have multi-valued attributes, and also the primary key is mentioned. This one here need to be mentioned. This one needs to mention that this one is foreign key. Okay, don't forget it. Okay, for this one, now it's in the first. What's about the second? Is there any partial dependency? Definitely not, because we have only single field for the primary key. So there is no partial dependency. Also here, transitional dependency, we don't have because we have only one non-key field. So there is no transitional dependency. So at the end, all of our tables are in the third normalization form. To make sure that everything is correct, just copy the final. So here, final design, like this. All of this, no need to mention this here. To summarize, you have to mention this. All things must be clear. Okay? So I understand that the final design is 5 tables. Okay? Okay, see here. Here we started with 2 tables, but finally we come up with 5 tables to make sure that there is no anomaly at all. Is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, we finished on time. And hopefully everybody understood. And today, for your advantage, you got a complete scenario from the beginning of our course until now. So hopefully everybody understood, and everybody, inshallah, is able to face the real scenarios in the real life. Okay, if there is any question, please ask me, maybe through WhatsApp or whatever, and inshallah I will come back to you as soon as possible. So inshallah, try to watch the Putra Blast today to find the scenario. And see you inshallah for tomorrow, if there is no question.
Okay, doctor. Thank you.
No questions?
No.
Okay.
No.
Question.
No for now.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you,
Have a nice day.
Doctor.
Thank you, sir. شكرا جزيلا.